Alrighty, so I believe I have a deal for Trevor Rogers in place. We are able to just complete it right away. So Trevor Rogers, decent lefty arm, expiring contract at the end of the year. He's going to fill in our fourth starter spot right now, and just help us get to the improve our rotation because that's what we need right now. We cannot wait until the deadline to make a move here. We probably still will make more moves, obviously, at the deadline, but we just need to make this now. So Trevor Rogers, lefty, he's had some decent years here. You know, he's been a solid pitcher, and that's what we need right now is just a guy who can give us innings. And Trevor Rogers can give us innings. Kind of getting a slow start this season, but we're gonna try to help him out here and be a solid player for us. And we are giving up Marcos Dingies, whatever you say this guy's name. He was our 10th round pick in the first season that we did this. High work ethic, intelligence, but I just don't think this guy's going to be really that anything. He did have a really solid 2025, 33 home runs, 24 home runs last year in high A with a bad WRC plus, and he's not even really playing in Double A. I just don't think this guy's really going to make it past Double A, so we're sending him to St. Louis. Denzer Guzman, he's been here since the start, kind of same profile as him. He just kind of stalled out as Double A, at Double A, I should say. And then Leody Taveras was the guy who they were like, hey, we'll do this. Honestly, now that I'm looking at Leody Taveras here, we signed him to a minor league deal. He's playing well in AAA. Do I want to give up Leody Taveras? I mean, he could be helpful. I don't know if I want to get rid of him. Yeah, so I think we're gonna. They're also saying we can add Jordan Adams to the deal to make it done. So I think we're gonna add Jordan Adams instead of Leody Taveras, simply because Leody Taveras is a little bit better. He's only 1 year older than Jordan Adams. He's a little bit better at the plate. Jordan Adams is a little bit better defensively, I believe, but really not that much. Oh no, they're basically the exact same player. Basically the exact same player defensively. Tavares even has the edge when it comes to error. The ratings wise here, Adams has the better ratings, but the range is still solid for Tavares. And and he's also got the bat against lefties. He's a switch hitter, can hit against righties too, but he's better against lefties in the way that we would hope Jordan Adams would be, but Jordan Adams just isn't really that good of a bat. He's proven that he can't really hit. So we're going to add Jordan Adams to this trade instead to get this done. And let's see if we can edit this and maybe keep Dingies and just give them Adam and Guzman. And we'll submit that and see what they say. As we advance a day, that's right, Alan Serta is ready to come off. We're going to throw him on a quick rehab assignment, though. Almost. Okay, yeah, now it's just like an actual almost where they're like, hey, we'll give it for like literally any of these guys. Here, have this guy. Boom. Trevor Rogers, come on down, brother. So Eric Fetty, I think we're just going to straight up waive and DFA him because he's just not getting it done. So Eric Fetty, it was I don't know. It seems like a waste. Maybe moving to the pen, possibly. Let's see what Gray does here in this start. He loses, or we lose. Okay, he goes 2 earned runs and 4 2/3, strikes out 5. I mean, not the worst start. Not the worst start at all. Could be better. But I mean, Fetty's ratings just make me think that we should keep him around because he's got the 60 control. He's got these good pitches. I mean, he's put up decent seasons. Or I guess really only one decent season with St. Louis. Okay, yeah, we're gonna waive and DFA him, Eric Fetty. Sorry, didn't work out. But Trevor Rogers is going to take your place, and we are gonna put him there, and we're gonna limit him to like 90 pitches. Cease. We're gonna go Trevor Rogers today. How's his debut going? Not great. Okay, fantastic stuff. He gets absolutely shelled in his first game. Not what you want at all. And now we're back to the top of the order. Okay. Not what you want. It truly not. So Eric Fetty decided to refuse his assignment, so I was just curious, and we shopped him, and we could use a backup catcher. So Joey Bart popped up, and I'm like, okay, Joey Bart, let's do this. And he's got the captain, really good personality class, a little bit better than Hackenberg. He's got the better defensive than Hackenberg too. He hasn't really played much in the big leagues here, but he's been solid in AAA for them past 2 seasons, as opposed to Hackenberg, who's making a jump up from lower in the minors. So Bart, solid backup catcher here, so we do that. And then I see they've got Chase Lee down in AAA, and I'm like, okay, let's try to squeeze some more stuff out of him. They're not having this guy, ground ball pitcher. Probably won't be on our staff right away in the bullpen, but he's an option to have. We'll throw him in AAA. And then I see they got Wilyer Abreu just kicking around down in AAA. He's never really gotten too much of a chance in the big leagues for them. He's had like some backup time in 2025. What did he do in 2024? Okay, so in 2024, he was like a starter for them. He was okay. 2025, he was like a backup and was pretty good. 2026, he was okay. And now 2027, he was okay in the bigs, but they have him in AAA, and he's angry. He is making way less than Jarren Duran, which is essentially how I'm viewing this, is that Jarren Duran is having a really bad season. Jarren Duran has no options, though, so we're going to keep Duran on the Major League roster for now, and we'll have probably Abreu in AAA to start. Or maybe we send Canario down and have Duran up as well. But I don't know. We'll have to take a look at it. But basically how I'm viewing this is Duran probably not going to be worth the $6 million he wants next year. So we'll probably try to trade him and get out from that next year. If we don't waive him at some point this season, or trade him now or something, or something we decide to do. Probably not going to do that because he is valuable as a bench pinch runner and a bench defender, and I still believe this bat's pretty decent. So Jarren Duran, I don't want to get rid of him, but next season we would be moving on from him. And where did I just go? Here we go. And Wilyer Abreu could come in and be another lefty bat for us, who has a couple more years of arbitration left. He only has 3 years of Major League service. He's projected to only make $3 million in arbitration, so that's quite a hefty decrease from Duran. So how I'm viewing him is like a Duran replacement on next year's roster. And apparently, all they wanted for this deal was Fetty and Victor Santos. So I'm like, you guys like this guy? Sure, man, you can have this guy. Maybe they think his control is untapped here. I don't think this guy is really anything too much, but they like him. So they want these two guys. We'll give them to him. They like it. We're doing it. Boom. Just like that. And the players appreciate the new leadership of Joey Bart. In case you're wondering, Trevor Rogers' second start here as a member of the Angels, much better. 6 innings strong, only gives up 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks. Love to see it. Folks, Reed Detmers has done it. He spun a no-no against the Boston Red Sox in a 3-0 win to top off a series win over the Red Sox after we followed up a sweep of the Tampa Bay Rays as the Los Angeles Angels are rolling. 3-0 win here. Neto 2 hits on the day. We had Ha-Seong Kim home run. Interesting. And Reed Detmers goes, not perfect game. No-hitter, 9 innings, no hits, no runs, 3 walks, 9 Ks. Hasn't he thrown a no-hitter in his career before? I want to say he's thrown a no-hitter in real life. That sounds right. I don't believe there's a way to... Yeah, I mean, you can see when he does it in this, but I'm pretty sure that he's thrown a no-hitter in real life, so this is his second, I believe. And you can see here, we are sitting on July 14th, 47-45 first place in the American League West, 1 game in front of both the Rangers and the A's, 3 games in front of the Mariners. This division is insane. And the thing is, if whoever finishes second is not guaranteed a playoff spot here, as there are a lot of teams fighting for this third wildcard spot here, even that second wildcard spot. It's a mix-up here, so you really want to win this division to get into the playoffs here, as we are slowly or getting up here to this trade deadline. It's only like a couple weeks away. Probably going to start looking around if we take a look at how our team has been doing. We're doing, the Pythagorean is much better. Once again, if we take a look at the expanded standings, we have the best run differential in the division, which is something that makes me feel good about this team's outlook. Best run differential of any team in the Central. I mean, that's just disgusting. The Twins having a down year after winning the World Series. The What? Oh my God! They're what? 72-19 with a plus 240 run differential, an 11-game winning streak. I mean, what? I mean, how you feeling if you're the Yankees here? You're feeling good, 51-38, and you're 20 games back. Oh my God. What is Kobe Mayo's got 30 home runs and we're not even in August yet. A 5-war season already. Oh my God. Jazz Chisholm is playing for them. In center field nonetheless and hitting. Jackson Holiday's still a stud with a 150 WRC+. Let's just take a look at their W's. Oh my. Samuel Basayo is up with a 211 WRC+. Ronald Guzman's hitting on their bench. Gunnar Henderson's got a 150. Dylan Beavers has a 120. Butler's above average. Jeff McNeil's above average. Nick Matone, the Wolfman, is above average. Adley Rushman, somehow the worst of the starters. Or I guess Dustin Harris is the worst of the starters. But I mean, oh my God, what is the pitching looking like? They've already got 3 pitchers with a 2-WAR. They've got Josh Hader and Felix Bautista and Edwin Diaz in their bullpen. Tanner Scott's a stud too. How is anybody supposed to beat this team? Oh my, they got Jose Leclerc too. Oh my God. This is insanity. Oh my God. They haven't lost a game in July. When was the last time? I guess the last time they lost the game was in June. Yeah, June 28th. Or no, June 30th. And then before that, they had a big streak there. I mean, what? This is absurd. Look at all these blue. Third, first, second, sixth, seventh, first. I mean, oh my God. And then they got guys in the IL. They got Dustin May just out for 7 to 8 weeks. They've got Anthony Santander, who's not really... He was playing great. He wasn't great last year or the year before. But he's been good this year. He's currently hurt, almost back. Yenier Cano, just out for 3 to 4 months. Doesn't even matter with their bullpen. Ranger Suarez they've got. He was pitching well for them. He's out for the season. Doesn't matter. I mean, the freaking Orioles, man. And they still got Angelos in this, too. So it's like, oh my God. I mean, look at this budget. Look at this. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. Let's actually take a look at how our team is doing now. Now that we're done fawning over the Baltimore Orioles here. You can see we had a very good June. We're 5-5 so far in July. And we've got really good offense. second most runs scored in the American League, only behind the Orioles. The only team scoring more runs than us in the American League is the Orioles. That makes me feel really good about our offense. I know our offense is good. Hopefully they don't disappear again in the playoffs, but that is, sometimes it just happens. That's just how baseball is. That's baseball, Susan. The home runs, not quite top tier, but still middle of the pack there, staying with the extra base hits, but still scoring a lot of runs. Pitching, bullpen ERA is great. Starters ERA still not where we want it to be. The WAR not great, but we're still limiting hits, limiting average. We have a great BABIP. We're not allowing as many home runs as we were, but we are giving up a ton of walks, just walking a shit ton of guys, striking out a bunch though, and we are playing much, much better defense as we were the last time that I looked at this. I believe before the draft was when I looked at this on June 1st, and now we're slightly a month later, like a month and change later, and we are positive back in the ZR, 6th in the AL. We had been like top 2 in this, but it's gonna take a dip now that we have Mike Trout playing left field, and not only is Mike Trout playing left field, not a center fielder anymore, but he's also just hasn't been a good left fielder either, which is disappointing to see. It doesn't make much sense with these ratings, but it's not going well for Mike Trout's adjustment to the corner. But as we see the lineups here, I mean, Hoppy, Shanuel, Neto, Trout, even Nelson Rada was performing incredibly. I'm tempted to put him back in the starting lineup. The only reason he's not in the starting lineup right now is because Alan Cerda came off the IL, and we committed capital to this guy by swapping him for Joe Adell, and he just hasn't been good. He has 3 home runs with this power eye gap combo. He's not striking out more than 30% of the time, which is good to see. And the BABIP's at 324, so you can't just kind of like shrug and be like, well, the BABIP is eventually going to regress. The BABIP is fine. He's just not hitting. So, not great. Not great. How is Joe Adell doing? I'm going to look at this, and it's going to piss me off. Okay. Maybe not so much. He's well, I guess he could get this up to 3 if he continues producing at this pace. Right now his OPS is a bit lower, so he's probably going to have more of a season like he had here in 2025, probably a little bit better than that. He might end up with like a 2 WAR, but I don't think he's going to quite do this. Still better than what Alan Cerda's giving us, but Nelson Rada was just fantastic while Cerda was hurt, and he's just, he was hitting leadoff for us with a 411 OBP. He was even decent against lefties as a lefty bat, but he was just absolutely tearing up right-handed feast. He's a right-handed feaster, folks. He just tearing up right-handed pitching, and I'm just tempted to put him back in there, honestly, because Alan Cerda, even with this this profile here, he's just not hitting. We might give him a run for like up until the trade deadline, but Nelson Rada, we're still playing him like every 5th game right now. We might bump that up to like every 3rd, honestly. 5th against lefties. Yeah, we'll do that. But we might make a change where it might be like Rada flipping with Cerda here, and Cerda plays like every 5th game or something like that, because Rada just was fantastic for us in his role once Cerda was hurt. The guy has been great in the minor leagues, comes up to the big leagues, what do you know? He's great. But then the rest of the order here, Logan O'Hoppe, just doing what he does. 27 bombs, a 176 WRC+. It's insane how well he's developed. He's an absolute monster. Nolan Shanuel, he's been a monster this season. He's getting that strikeout percentage dipped. Look at this drop in strikeout rate. He's walking at a 399 OBP. The guy is incredible. What can I say? Nolan Shanuel. We got Zach Neto. He's doing his thing. He missed a little bit of time, but he's back. He's doing his thing still. Is he playing the solid second base? Does not look like it. No, not really. Not really. He's treading water, but that's kind of a bummer to see. Same sort of thing as Mike Trout, but Mike Trout's still hitting. Yeah. He's still doing his thing. He's not quite peak Mike Trout anymore, but he's still a very productive player at almost 36 years old. Ian Happ has kind of been like up and down, starting to figure it out against righties, but he has just always consistently been really good against lefties this season. And he is playing every day for us. So Ian Happ doing what he did, doing what he's doing. I've been impressed. He's a solid player for us. Kyron Paris even has been a solid bat. He actually is a positive ZR at shortstop this year, and he is hitting decently well, walking, 360 OBP. He had that big development lab success with the eye, and it's showing. 360 OBP, that's a huge jump from these OBP numbers. Ignore this middle one because that's a rehab stint. But, still, he's getting more doubles this year. He's striking out less than 30%. He's doing the thing, and look at this huge increase in walk rate here. He's doing like AAA numbers here in the major leagues. Love to see it. Swiping a ton of bags too. Kyron Paris, productive player for us at the dish. Jordan Westberg got off to a slow start on the season here. April, May, not great. June, July, he's been fantastic. Jordan Westberg, we believe in the bat, folks. I've been saying it. We believe in him. He's on pace to put up another season like this. Maybe a little bit less than 2.8 WAR, depending on how the rest of the season goes, but still solid. This WRC Plus is going to keep climbing. He's hitting doubles. He's driving in runs. He's not striking out a ton. And he's even swiping some bags for us, on pace to have more swipe bags than he had for us last season. And unfortunately, he's also a guy who's kind of treading water defensively. But, the bat, we believe in the bat, folks, as I've been saying with Jordan Westberg. Mauricio has even been okay as a bench player for us. No one home run, but he's doing fine as a bench piece for us. What else do we have? Like, we've been over Serta. He's not great. I don't even know if this is pronounced Serta. I'll probably look it up after this, but I'm assuming it's Alan Serta. It's probably something crazy, though. But that's just what I'm calling him now until I look it up. Ha-Seong Kim hasn't been great. Even against lefties, he's been way better against righties, I'm looking at plate appearances. He's been very even against lefties and righties. You would think he would be better against lefties with what his ratings look like, with his splits, but he's been fine as like a backup infielder. That's what we signed him for. So he's fine. He's been okay, I guess. Not great at second, but he's been okay defensively. Once again, another guy like treading water defensively. David Calabrese is currently hurt, but he's only 5 days left on that. It's a day-to-day thing that I left him playing through because he is kind of the guy who's saving our ZR here. Really, really good center field defender. David Calabrese, we love to see it. The Ontario man. And not a total zero at the plate, but he's definitely not a good hitter. It's why he hits 9th for us. But he's got the speed, he's got the defense. That's why he's on the team. And then we have Jarren Duran's been bad. Not good to see. Joey Bart has barely played since coming over, but he's negative WRC plus. That's our thing. We just love having backup catchers with negative WRC pluses. Not that like O'Hoppe has been needing it, because he's just been an absolute Iron Man at that catcher position. But God forbid if something ever happens to O'Hoppe, we're kind of fucked. And you may be wondering, why have I not called up Wilyer Abreu yet if Duran has been so bad, if we want to DFA him, or if we want to trade him or something? Well, it's because Wilyer Abreu is currently out with a high ankle sprain. We traded for him. He was raking. I was just about to go look at him in AAA, and boom, 4 weeks out with a high ankle sprain. So I would imagine he gets called up once we hit the extended rosters. But or maybe even sooner than then. But for now, he is no longer in the mix right now because he is hurt. Also, you can see Chase Silseth only has 3 weeks left on his injury, so he's going to be hitting a rehab assignment here soon. Let's get a scouting report on him, get a little updated action on this, see how he is. But he was fine in his long relief role, very similar to what Kai Senga's doing for us this year. So if you take a look at this pitching staff, Detmers with a 2 WAR, Cease with a 1.5 WAR, 3.2 R WAR. Let's sort this by position. So yeah, in the rotation, we got Cease, Detmers, Canning. They're all solid, as we thought. 1, 2, 3. Rogers has not been good. We gave up that capital for him. It wasn't anything big, luckily. But Trevor Rogers has not been good. Honestly, we would have been better off. I guess we did get some other pieces for Fetty, but He's basically just putting up Fetty numbers. He hasn't been an improvement at all. He's been quite bad to the point where we've actually moved him to being a follower simply because when I go to his pitching stats here and I look at his opponent's batting splits, seems to me, innings 1 through 3, he gives up a 901 OPS. Innings 4 through 6, he gives up a 716 OPS. So I'm like, seems like a guy I should be in a follower role. So, even 716 is still not great. You don't want that to be like the best you do. But, we're doing that. So he's a follower now. I don't know how many. He hasn't even had a follower appearance yet. We just made that change just recently. But when it's his bump day, we're gonna have Ben Joyce be the opener. Hit him with little 104 mile an hour fastballs, 80 grade sliders for like an inning, and then we bring in Trevor Rogers, who's more of like he throws pretty hard, but he's more of like the finesse. I guess he's a power pitcher, but he's got a little bit more finesse to his game with the lefty. I guess I never really think of Trevor Rogers as like a blow it by him lefty, but I guess he is. But anyways, he's going to be a follower from here on out. And then we also brought back up Hayden Birdsong because he was doing very well in AAA, and Josiah Gray was not doing well. So Hayden Birdsong back up here in the big leagues. You can see his AAA numbers in 10 starts was very good in Salt Lake. And I don't think he's gotten a major league. What am I doing? Profile. Games. Yeah, he has not gotten a major league start yet since coming back up, so we will see how he does when he gets that start. Oh yeah, and also I was saying he was putting up similar numbers to KY Tang, who is putting up a little bit better numbers than Silseth was last year, but especially the ERA plus, and he even won Rookie of the Month in June. He had such a good month of June. We take a look at his splits here. Yeah, I mean, 227 ERA plus in June, 92 FIP. He's been even better somehow in July. I mean, the guy is saying, who needs FIP? This guy is all about ERA. This guy's, he's the type of guy that puts up a year like that where he's got a really good ERA plus, but if his FIP is like, this guy's due for some regression, he's probably not going to have a 204 BABIP forever. And, Bleacher Report's hyping him up. The MLB Cut 4 account is hyping him up. And then he comes out the next season and he kind of stinks. And people are like, whoa, what happened? But anyways, so definitely we're going to be looking to add at least one starter here to our rotation, possibly even two to get us through the rest of the season. Because we are trying to win this division. We are not trying to just coast to the end in what we're doing right now. We're trying to solidify these arms in the rotation, get us to the end of the season, and win this division. And that's really what we're trying to do. I don't think we're going to acquire any bats simply because we just don't need bats. Maybe a backup catcher, but I don't think so. We're rocking with Joey Bart as the backup catcher. So really, it's just arms. It's arms we're looking for here at the deadline. If we take a look at the trading block, all pitchers, Garrett Cole is on the block. Not going to be trading with the team in our division though that we're fighting for. Don't even know why he's on the block, considering he's not an expiring contract. But the AI is going to AI. Tyler Glasnow, not an expiring contract. The Twins kind of stinky poo poo this year. He does have a team option, with a $0 buyout. That's interesting. It's going to take some capital, but that is interesting. The Logan Webb deal is still here as well. We might want to look into Logan Webb. Once again, I don't think we have the dudes to get these guys. Even Shane Baz. No, he's in our division. We can't do that. Camilo Doval is starting. Interesting. I mean, he's got the stuff for it. 35 stamina is just like that's like the absolute minimum I would have as a starter, or for a starter rather. But I mean, he's got 50 control, 70 home run suppression. He's got the big stuff. We know that. Throws super hard. Camilo Doval could be interesting as a pickup. So like Glasnow, Webb, Doval are like our big targets that we could get. One of these guys, I would be on the moon if we got one of these guys. As far as the rest of them, Probably not Rasmussen. Let's sort by starters. Brad, we can't. No, he's in our division. We can't. No, in our division. Jordan Hicks, possible. That's doable. 50 overall. Don't love the control, but we're that's our identity at this point. Is that we got Dylan Cease and we're walking a bunch of guys. So, that wouldn't really would be like the Hurricanes in hockey, just committing to the bit, just getting a bunch of guys who drive play but can't actually store. Until this year where they got Gensel, but they commit to the bit. We got to commit to the bit with getting a bunch of guys with low control, big stuff, big movement, good pitches. Jordan Hicks could be an option to pick up. That's definitely doable. Tanner Houck's still out there. He's an option too. There are some dudes. There are some dudes for sure that we could go out and get. Top tier being Glasnow, Webb, Doval. Second tier being Hicks and Houck. Maybe Severino. Maybe. And then there's some dudes down here who maybe I would be interested in looking at, like Mackenzie Gore. Extreme fly ball, probably not. Lance McCullers is fragile. He's in our division. What am I saying? There's some guys. We'll try to finagle some stuff here and then cut back in once we get close to the trade deadline. Okay, so I'm thinking Logan Webb. Logan Webb's not going to happen simply because he's got the extra year of team control guaranteed. He's obviously the biggest fish we could go after because he's got that extra year. He's younger than Glasnow. He's had these insane inning eatings years. I mean, he's like an old school ace as much as you can be like nowadays. He fills the strike zone, throws strikes, eats innings. He attacks hitters. That's what he does. He's got this one more year of team control. It's going to take some serious I could maybe add another prospect, but I mean, we offered them Cam Caminiti, who we know. We tried to give them him earlier. They weren't interested. We also added in this 55 grade reliever prospect who could be really good as a reliever, but he's super far away. We're trying to win now with Trout. I wouldn't lose sleep over giving up a reliever like that. And then also this guy, simply because he's 45 potential, fragile, injury proneness. Now, obviously, not very enticing from their part, but, we're just trying to be like, hey, you don't know about this, take the trade. But, they're like, hey, how about you give us any of these guys? And I'm like, I'm not giving you any of those guys. Whereas Minnesota, I offered them the same deal with Caminiti and Castro, and they're like, hey, for Glasnow, we just want any of these dudes. And obviously these dudes are all somebody I don't really want to trade away, like Mauricio. At this point, maybe we'd be interested in trading him away. He's 26 still. He's still liable for he could break out at any moment. But I like him. He's got the speed. He's got the versatility on defense. He's the switch hitter. I like him as a bench bat. But Joey Bart, who we just picked up, I would not be opposed to being like, hey, you want Joey Bart for these dudes and you'll give me Tyler Glasnow for this year and possibly next year too. If he's awful, we'll just get rid of him. But if he's good, we'll bring him back next year. I'll do that for sure. 1 year of Glasnow for $30 million. Obviously, it's going to be a bit older Glasnow, but he's going to be the same age-ish as Brandon Woodruff. The movement's not the best, but he's got the good control. He's got the insane fastball. Still throws super hard. He's got the big stuff. He's been okay-ish this year. He was okay-ish last year. But he's Tyler Glasnow, And then I would not be opposed to doing that. But honestly, I'm gonna see what San Francisco thinks if we add maybe not Bart. Maybe I add Mauricio in here. And we're like, hey, would you do this? It would sting to move on from Mauricio. But if we move on from him, we can get another bench first baseman, because that's what he is for us. He's a bench first baseman. Can be in there on third base. He's got some left field versatility too, because I played him there in spring. He's not even the high up on the pinch runners thing. Then in AAA, we have some dudes we could call up. Canario is a corner outfielder we could teach to play first base a little bit down there, play him down there, get him some first base reps. It'd be fine. Jake Cronenworth, we have him in AAA. That's an option. Boom. Jake Cronenworth, he can come up, be your backup bench first baseman. Who else do we got? We got Nick Gonzalez. Maybe teach him to play a little bit first base. He's been raking down in AAA. We like his profile still. He's on the 40-man roster. Who else? That's really it. Who I would be fine with. But I think this is fine. We could absolutely do this for sure. Caminiti, Castro, Mauricio. Let's submit that and see what they say. Okay. They're saying almost. And they want these guys, which are all no's. But they also want this guy, who, once again, super far away from the big leagues, work ethic, intelligence, love that. We're playing him at first base right now just to get him some reps there because he was originally a catcher, but he's not really a catcher. You know, this guy could be legit. Could be legit. For sure. He's raking in rookie ball his first 2 years. We love the Ozzy, Ozzy, Oi, Oi. But, you know, we're trying to win right now. It's Operation Get Mike Trout a ring. Not that we're going to stop doing this once Mike Trout's gone. This is a long-term save, but you know, right now we want to get Mike Trout a ring. We need to get Mike Trout to the playoffs, get him a ring. We need to do it. Would this sting? Yes, it would. But I would not be opposed to doing it. So we add Schneider's here, Dutch name, Aussie guy. Our GM likes it. Not that really means too much to me, but we get Logan Webb for the rest of this year, and we get a full season of Logan Webb next year at $24 million, which is less than what Glasnow would be giving us. And Glasnow is much older and has not proven that he has this in his bag as of recently. So, we're doing it. Fuck it. We've done it, folks. You know, we get rid of a captain in Mauricio, but there are still more than a few capable captains to step in and fill that role, as we know. It is, okay, maybe a little bit less than we used to, but still, it's the power of friendship here in Anaheim. We've got decent amount of captains, decent amount of leaders. We're all good to go. This guy's only on here because he's rehabbing. 2 days left on his surgery recovery before he gets on a rehab assignment. We'll probably send him there straight out of AAA, honestly. This isn't worth locking into being like, oh, we want to, you know, bring him back up. You know, you're just going straight down to AAA when he comes back from that. But, yeah, that is what we're doing there. So we have traded for Logan Webb. We get rid of Cam Caminiti. Big package, I will admit. But, you know, Cam Caminiti hasn't been anything for us in the minors. He's going to San Francisco. David Castro, relief prospect. Looks like he could be a really good reliever, but once again, far away. We're trying to win. Ronnie Mauricio, the most immediate guy we're getting rid of, but he just hasn't been anything for us. You know, we got him for Jesse Winker, for half a season of Jesse Winker. If Mauricio turns out to be a stud for them, so be it. And then this guy, probably this guy is the one that stings the most, honestly. But, you know, it must be done. It must be done. You got to give to get. And we get Logan Webb, a legit number one here for us. So Logan Webb is now a member of our staff. He stays in California. The guy loves California, folks. And I think Birdsong is just going to go down. That makes the most sense to me. Birdsong is going to go down. We bring Logan Webb onto the team here. And we basically just drop everyone down a slot. Cease. Webb is yes. So I think we'll drop Cease down one. It will have Webb make his debut against the Texas Rangers. Big series, 4-game set. We dropped the first one here. We got Webb, Cease, and Detmers, who's on fire, going for this. We're not even going to limit Webb's pitches because this guy goes deep into games. That's what he does. He's old school. We'll let him do what he does. So Logan Webb, no pitch count. The rest of these guys, they're on pitch counts. Trevor Rogers as the fifth guy, as the follower. We might pick up one more arm, we might not. We'll see how it is. But if this is the only move we make here at the deadline, I'm cool with that. And then also we need to go down here, and I believe we're going to call up Jake Cronenworth. We could go Corey Collins. He hasn't played too much. We do like the power eye combo here. Interesting, like, bench bat piece, but I think we're going to go Cronenworth because he's got a little bit more versatility. You don't really want him playing second or third, but he can play first. He's got some more, like, base running ability. Lefty bat. How many? I feel like all our bench bats are lefties. Pretty much. Pretty much. Akemi is a lefty, too. Gonzalez is a righty. Honestly, we might bring up Gonzalez. He is the leader. Is Cronenworth a leader? No, he's low leader, actually. Gonzalez doesn't have any time. What we're going to do, we don't want Gonzalez learning first base in the big leagues. He's also a lefty. So I think what we're going to do here is we are going... What is Ease Leonard? He plays first. He's not doing well in AAA, though. High run environment league, you're not even hitting down there. Probably not going to call you up. Sorry. Edie's. Not happening. Even though you do have the versatility I like. You're the righty hitter. Not really what I'm looking for here. I think we are just going to call up Cronenworth. He's going to come up the Crone zone. And we are going to get Nick Gonzalez playing a couple games at first base in AAA just to add the versatility there, and we might call him up at some point. All right, so mixed bag against the Texas Rangers here. We drop the first game, win the second game, win the third game, drop the fourth game. Why one run? So first game, it was Birdsong who went for us before we got sent down. He was fine. You know, that's if you're gonna start Hayden Birdsong, that is respectable. You know, we lose by one, the bat just can't get it done. Whatever. We then move on to game 2. Logan Webb's first game for us gets the win. A little bit of a shaky start. 9 hits, 5 runs, 6 Ks, only 1 walk. But he gets the job done. Gets the win. We outlast the Rangers with our offense. Score 12 runs. 2-hit game for Trout, Shanuel, Paris. 3-hit game for Westberg. And then we win the next game 5-2. Which was Dylan Cease on the hill. Goes 5 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 5 Ks, and we outlast Aaron Savali. And then in the finale of the series, we lose with Reed Detmers on the hill. He goes 5, gives up 3, strikes out 6, and Garrett Cole just shut us down. Just 10 Ks, 7 innings, just absolutely shoved, did Garrett Cole-like things. And former Angel Jack Flaherty closed it out on us, apparently, in that game. Apparently, he's their closer. That's interesting. Not sure why, but he is. And then the other thing we have here is the All-Star Game rosters have been announced. Lots of Baltimore. You got Corbin Burns in there. You got Grayson Rodriguez. You got Josh Hader. You got Felix Bautista. You got Basayo. You got, who else from Baltimore here? Jackson Holiday, Kobe Mayo, Gunnar Henderson, Dylan Beavers. I mean, just incredible. One thing that is interesting, though, is we have Logan O'Hoppe. He was actually the top vote getter. You take a look at the American League vote getter. Boom. The top player, Logan O'Hoppe, folks, with his 171 WRC plus 28 home runs here at the All-Star break. Incredible. So he's the top vote getter there for the catchers, or for the overall players, and he obviously is the starting catcher. And then Shanuel makes it as well. And so does Nelson Rada in his rookie season. Makes the All-Star game with his 2.3 WAR and 146 WRC plus here at the break. Fantastic stuff from the Rook. 21 years old, almost 22. Ah, folks, and he wins the home run derby. Absolutely fantastic. He outlasts Brady House of the Washington Nationals, who I guess was probably one of their. He might have been their lone All Star. How are the Nationals doing? Yeah, they're not great. So he was probably their lone All Star. Or no, CJ Abrams might have gotten in. Yeah, CJ Abrams got in too. So, interesting. They had multiple All Stars, and they're a bad team. Former Angel Nick Castellanos. So we're taking a look at the other guys in the trade block here when it comes to starters. The one guy that I wanted was Jordan Hicks, but the Cubs are in first place, so I don't know why they're trying to trade Jordan Hicks, but for whatever reason they are. We're not going to do that. I don't. That's cheesy to me. I don't know. We're not going to do that. So he's going to keep playing for the Cubs here. But we are going to try to make a run at possibly Tanner Houck or Luis Severino because the Blue Jays are god awful in this division where they have no chance of doing anything. Oh, wow. Looks like the Orioles on a little bit of a skid here. On a little bit of a skid. As much as you can call that a skid. they're into the 20s with the losses. But yeah, and then Cleveland, they're not really in the mix either. So Severino and Houck, open season on them. Houck, Severino, who do I prefer? Uh, the exact same stuff, movement and control edge goes to Severino. Houck is a little bit better against righties than he is, whereas it's Severino. Severino's the guy we prefer. Yeah. So we're gonna go after Sevy here. For sure. We're gonna try to make a run at Severino. You've gotta be kidding me! I literally just submitted a trade for Luis Severino, and then I advanced the day, and then I just didn't have anything in my mail and news. So I'm like, what the hell just happened? So I search him up here. The Giants just traded for him. Alrighty, bit of a 4-person for 1-person deal here for us, but none of these guys are really interesting for me. I mean, some of them are interesting, but none of them are like we're not gonna miss some of these guys. So the original offer was Placencia and Dinges. And then once I offered them that, they were like, hey, almost, we would take either Harrison Didawick, who I like, and we're actually playing him at first base right now to try to get him some flexibility there. And then Dalen Thompson, who, not the best guy, but he's a captain, high work ethic. I don't want to trade this guy. So I offered them, let's go back to the initiate trade here. I offered them Torres, who is our AA first baseman. He's, nothing special. So I was like, all right, have this guy. And then they were like, okay, we'll do it if you add this guy. So I was like, okay, we'll give you that guy too. So these are the 4 pieces. The main 2 pieces are Placencia here, who's in AAA. Interesting, like, infielder, eye guy, decent BABIP and gap power, but I don't think he's anything too special that we can't part with. And then Dinges was our 10th round pick in 2024 out of FSU. High work ethic, intelligence, decent player. Could be something, could not be. He's probably the biggest piece in the deal here. But we're getting Tanner Houck here for the rest of the season to bolster our bullpen. Not sure what we're going to do with Trevor Rogers, but we are going to do something. All right, so Trevor Rogers' first game as a follower went decently well. 130 ERA plus. How did it go? 5 1/3. He goes 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 Ks, 2 walks. We'll take that. We'll take that from him. Unfortunately, Ben Joyce in his first game as an opener goes poorly. He did strike out a bunch of guys. I guess he gave up a home run. That just happens when it goes 1 inning. He gave up a home run in the first. You can't be doing that as an opener. I would like to put him back as a high leverage guy in the middle relief role and have Trevor Rogers back to being just a regular starter here. Not sure what we're going to do with him here. He's not going to accept the assignment. We need to send somebody down, and there's no obvious answers. We might go Bat then, honestly, to send somebody down, but I don't know who we send down there either. Obviously not going to send down Rada. Duran, if we send him down, we're not going to have a backup. I guess we're not going to have a backup center fielder, I should say. Him can't play center. No. Cronenworth, I guess he used to be able to play a little bit of center, but now he's not. I guess we could send down Cronenworth. He'll probably decline it. But we can... Okay, he didn't decline it. All right. Well, that makes it easier. So Tanner Houck, not in the 40-man. All right, we ended up just DFAing Cronenworth. We thank you for playing 2 games in Anaheim. Your service was commendable. We now move on to putting Houck in the rotation, and we're going to move Rogers into the bullpen. So Houck in the rotation. We'll limit him to like 95 pitches. I don't want him throwing more than that as the 5th starter. And then we'll have Rogers move to reliever. His stuff ticks up a little bit. We'll put him as a long relief emergency. Is his stuff better against... I don't know what that sound I just made was, by the way. We'll put him as long relief, also as a specialist, rather than also emergency starting pitcher. We got double-barreled long relief action now. And, yeah. Found this quite funny. I see the Astros have Reese McGuire on the block because he's their backup catcher this year, and he is doing the same thing he was doing for us, for them. Take it, Astros. Have that, you nasty franchise. So we're on the last day of the trade deadline here. I sent an offer for Camilo Doval. They weren't interested in it. And then I simmed another day, or I simmed the next stage, and the Twins are offering Yohan Duran, who we all know, incredible reliever. This is definitely going to help us for our playoff run. And this guy, Andrew Healy, who right now is a starter, could be a decent starter, probably more of a lights-out reliever, but I'd be willing to give him a shot as a starter at some point. Maybe not this year. But this guy is definitely more of a future seasons piece than he would be this year, I would think. And all they want is Jarren Duran, who I'm willing to give up. He's been bad for us this season. We would have to find a new backup center fielder. We currently have Luis Taveras down in AAA, although he is injured, diagnosis pending. Wilyer Abreu is not a center fielder, but he also has like 1 to 2 weeks left in his injury. We might have to have some like patchwork pieces for backup center fielder at the moment. But Jarren Duran, I would be willing to give him up. And this other guy, Anthony Pack Jr., is the one that I'm really not sure about. Obviously, the bat is never going to be anything, but this glove, I don't part with gloves like this for nothing. But Yohan Duran is not nothing. Even if it is a rental of Yohan Duran, this is a guy who can win you games. You put this guy at the back end of your bullpen, and teams are going to fear the back end of your bullpen. We might even put him as a stopper. I'm not sure. We'll trade Yohan Duran for Jarren Duran. That's a cool storyline. I think we're going to do it. I think. Because we can't see what they think. This is the 4th day of the trade deadline. The Twins are not in the mix, I don't believe. Or no, they are in the mix. They are in the mix, but they offered this trade to me. I didn't go out seeking this. They have him on the block. They offered it to me. What are they looking like in the wild card? They're sitting in the 2nd wild card spot right now. I don't know. I don't know why they offered this to me, but I think it could be a needle mover for us. 30 seconds. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I mean, this guy could be he's been awful in the minors. He's super far away. 75 ranges doesn't grow on trees. We're not doing it. We're not doing it, folks. We're clearing it. We're making the move. I can't. I'm not trading that that range in center field. It's too valuable. It's too valuable, folks. If I had one more day to see if we could try to give them somebody else, I would have, or one more stage, I would have done that, but we didn't. So the trade deadline has. Oh no! There was another day. I'm stupid. Oh no! Oh. Oh my god. Okay, well we will edit the offer then. We'll go. You may only complete already agreed upon deals in this period. Yeah. Well, I made the decision not to do it. You know, we could have edited the deal. I guess I should have hit that button and see if they would have let us. I mean, it's just this doesn't grow on trees. He's got the high work ethic. We could lab up his offense. We might put him in the lab this season. Maybe get that BABIP up. Maybe get the eye. Maybe get the gap power up a little bit. He's got the line drive hitter, so maybe the gap power. I mean, he is striking out a lot. That is. I mean, he might just be. The more I'm looking at this, he might just be like a. It's just. He's so young. He's 20. He's almost 21. He's only an A ball. He's been awful. He strikes at a ton. We'd have to lab him. Like, we'd have to have some serious success in the lab for this guy to be playable. I mean, if he's striking at 41% of the time in A ball, he's completely unplayable, even with this glove. Oh. I mean, it'd kill me to move on from this guy. We'd have to do some real patchwork to have a backup center fielder right now. Because I'm obviously not going to be trading Detmers for James Outman to get a backup center fielder, even though he's a starting center fielder. And we traded Jordan Adams already. This would really hurt our depth when it comes to center field. It's basically Calabrese and nobody else, but we can. Let me just take a quick look at what our player development center field is looking like. We just took Sadid. Sadid can play center field in the future. We got Dion Cole, who's in rookie ball for us right now, doing things. Samuel Zavala, we got him. He's not the ideal center fielder, but he can play center field. I think I'm talking myself into this. I think we're going to do this. Jarren Duran for Yohan Duran. We also get Andrew Healy here, who's no slouch. We maybe lab up this control in the offseason, get that up to 50 perhaps. And even if that's still a very solid arm here. 24, just turned 24, has no major league service time. We're doing it. Yohan Duran is now an Anaheim, Los Angeles Angel. They haven't been an Anaheim Angel since I was in like middle school, but I still call them that because it comes off the tongue better than Los Angeles. But we pick up Yohan Duran, and that's the end of the trade deadline. So now we have to figure out what we're gonna do with who we're gonna send down, because we need to call up somebody in center field. We cannot go a three-man bench of Rada, Bart, and I guess we have a two-man bench right now. No, Rada, Bart, and Kim. So that's our bench right now. We don't have a center fielder. We could put Trout as the backup center fielder, but that's not an option. He's not a center fielder anymore. We got to stop looking at him like he's a center fielder. He's just not. He's barely even a left fielder. So hopefully this Tavares injury isn't pending shoulder. Hopefully this isn't serious. If it's not, we will call him up and he will be the center fielder, but we'll have to see a couple days for that. We've got this Buddy Reed guy who could maybe fill in center field. Zavala's already on the 40-man. We've already used his option this year, so we're not like gonna burn an option for no reason. He's been really good in AA, hasn't played in AAA. But he's been really good in AA. He's been really good in the minors overall. I think we're going to call up Samuel Zavala. Samuel Zavala is going to come up, be our backup center fielder. And now we need to figure out who we're going to burn an option on out of the bullpen to make room for Duran. We already moved Bachman out of the stopper into the middle relief. I'll probably put this on just normal usage, honestly. And we'll just keep this the way it is because Bachman has been solid, but we're going to... Obviously, Cavalli's been better. Let me just see who's been better as of recently. Okay. So the ERA has been up and down, but the FIP has been mainly like really good for Bachman. And then Cavalli has just consistently had really good FIPs. I guess the FIP is climbing, and the ERA has been pretty solid all year round. But yeah, we're gonna keep Cavalli as a stopper because he's got the stamina for it. So does Bachman, but we're gonna leave these guys in the middle relief roles with their roles set. But we need to send down at least one guy. And none of these guys have been sent down this year, so I don't want to burn a guy's option if it's like his final year of options. Like if I sent down Ben Joyce, for instance, he only has one option year left. We would like that option year left to continue into next season, so I don't want to burn his option right now. Although he probably is the most obvious guy to send down. Connor Phillips, we would burn... He would have another option year next year, but we would burn one option year for sure. He's... Okay, his FIP has been not great. He was very good, and he's been very good in July, though, with the ERA. Not the FIP, but the ERA. Soriano, I believe. Okay, he would have one option year, but he's been really good. He's been like one of our best pitchers all year long. KY Tang, what am I looking at here? Contract. He would still have one more option year. I guess now that we have Rogers up as a long relief, we don't need KY Tang. And the thing is, he would immediately come back up with if there was an injury or if there was or once we get to the extended rosters. Like extended rosters, the call-ups are probably Wilyer Abreu and KY Tang, and those are the two guys we call up. Because Trevor Rogers has options, but there's no chance he accepts. Yeah, no chance he accepts an assignment. Has he kind of like slowed up as no, he's been really good. He's even been good with the FIP. I'm not gonna mess with his mojo. I don't really. Joyce is the only one that's just a flat out no. How has Lopez been? He's also been quite good in July. Kind of shaky with the FIP in May and June. But the thing is, our bullpen's been so good that we're just choosing. How many options does he have? He has 3. Okay, so we're going to send out Lopez because these other guys have 2 options. He has never used an option year before. So Lopez, I also want to make sure that they don't fuck with where he is. So we'll lock him just so he maintains at AAA. So Jose Lopez is going to go down to AAA. We're going to move, Rogers long relief specialist. And then we have Yohan Duran into the bullpen. Healy we need to make room on the 40-man for him, and then he's already had his option used this season. We're going to put him in AAA. We're going to make sure he's locked the AAA as well. Alrighty, we got a big series coming up here. It's October 2nd. The regular season still has not ended. We have a series, a 3-game set in Anaheim against Seattle. They are 2 games behind us. This is the team that swept us in the playoffs last year in the wild card round. We have already clinched a playoff spot, but we do not have the division clinched. They could sweep us here and take the division. We don't want that to happen. So we need to win these games. It's going to be game 1 for us, Dylan Cease. Then it's probably looking like it's going to be Detmers and then Canning, if I had to guess. That looks like the order we're going here. So we're just going to quickly get through this and see how it goes. Game 1 against Brian Wu, we win. Boom, we lock the division. All we had to do was win 1 game. So we get that game. Then Tanner Houck's going. Tanner Houck gets the W. And then we got the final game of the season. And we sweep them. That's what you get. Not great, though. Wilyer Abreu strained abdominal muscle in the last game of the season. Or no, he probably didn't. on the 4th. So that is today. Not great. Strained abdominal muscle. He came up and he was decent for us in limited time here, mainly swapping in and out with Rada and playing left field with Trout, spotting him some games while we were down the stretch, making sure he didn't get hurt and playing every day. But Wilyer Abreu going to miss the beginning of the playoffs here. Luckily, it's not Trout getting hurt, and it's Wilyer Abreu. Boom, we have gotten to the end of the season, and look at that, folks. The home run champion, most home runs in the league, Nolan Schanuel. Let's take a look at our teams here. I'm not going to do the playoff rosters quite yet, but we are going to take a look. WAR, sort by WAR for the pitchers. Tanner Houck puts up a 4 WAR between Toronto and us. He was fine for them. Great for us. Big pickup Tanner Houck has been. Logan Webb, cold right now, but he's mostly been pretty solid for us. You know, he's Logan Webb. We trust Logan Webb. Dylan Cease has been fantastic for us. Almost 3 WAR, 4.6 R WAR. Very solid season for Dylan Cease. Reed Detmers has been solid as well. 3 WAR season for him. Let's sort this by position. Now, let's sort this by WAR. What am I saying? Yohan Duran, a little iffy ERA plus, but he's been doing his thing where he's striking out guys, not walking guys, doing his thing in the bullpen for us in 31 1/3 innings. He's had in the pen for us. He's at the back end, along with Cade Cavalli, you can see here. It has been pretty solid. For the postseason, we might mess around with this a bit and have Yohan Duran as the only stopper, as like the only stopper, so we have him guaranteed getting those like really big innings, and Cavalli might end up being like a setup / stopper guy, or like setup / high leverage guy with Bachman. But we'll probably mess with this a little bit. But yeah, Bachman was solid, Cavalli was solid. Trevor Rogers is not going to make the playoff roster because he was not even good as a reliever. I guess he was fine with the FIP, not great with the ERA plus, but he's probably not going to be in the bullpen here to be in the postseason. It depends, though. Ben Joyce was solid enough. Griffin Canning, not a great WAR, but a really solid R WAR. His FIP was not great, but he got lucky. His BABIP was quite low. Jose Soriano was pretty solid in the bullpen and bit of relief. So was Connor Phillips. KY Tang did his thing as the getting lucky with the BABIP. When it comes to the bats, boom, Logan O'Hoppe, 7 WAR season, 41 home runs, only 12 doubles because he just doesn't hit doubles for whatever reason. But I mean, look at these walk rates, the strikeout rates. He's insane. He even stole 17 bags. Logan O'Hoppe, incredible. Led the league in OBP. 7 WAR, 6 WAR for Schanuel as a DH. Look at this. The guy played 8 games in the field, and he still puts up a 6 WAR, 40 doubles, 40 home runs. Insane season for Nolan Schanuel. Cuts his walk rate down to 15, or his strikeout rate down to 15.7. His walk rate's up a tick from last year. A 600 slug, a 400 OBP. This is what we want Nolan Schanuel to be, and he was absolutely elite this season. And then we got Kyron Paris. Breakout year for Kyron Paris. A almost 4 WAR, 3.9, 112 WRC plus, above league average hitter for Kyron Paris. And pretty solid ZR. You know, not the best, but it's better than it has been for him. Usually he's hanging around like 1-2s. He got a 3 ZR. He puts up almost 4 WAR, 27 doubles, 12 home runs, walking a ton, 375 OBP. We will take that. 24 swiped bags. Kyron Paris. Zach Neto, he's on fire, folks. 3 WAR for him, 124 WRC plus, 19 doubles, 22 home runs, 17 swipe bags. And he ended up still just treading water, the exactly 0 ZR in second base. Not the best defensive season, but he does what he does at the plate. Westberg cooled off towards the end, but still another great season, or another solid season, I should say, at third base. Another 2 WAR, basically the exact same year, just a little bit less doubles, couple less home runs, more ribbies though, and swiped a few more bags as well. Looks like he had a bit higher of an OBP, but his walk rate dropped a little bit. His strikeout rate stayed exactly the same. Very consistent player, essentially, here at third base for us. Nelson Rada. He was solid, 2 WAR, 113 WRC plus. Slowed a bit when he was on the bench and then took over again in September as the starter. So that's something to keep in mind. But, you know, he had a very, very solid May, June, July for us. And he's definitely a piece of our future here in Nelson Rada. His overall's up to a 55 according to our scout. Ian Happ, 2 WAR season for him, 20 home runs, 30 doubles, solid year. Mike Trout, no longer the face of the he's still the face of the franchise, obviously, but no longer the heart of the order guy, really. 1.9 WAR, 114 WRC plus, 19 doubles, 21 home runs. He's still solid, obviously, but he's not Mike Trout anymore. He's very much like riding the coattails of Shanuel and Ohapi, and that's fine. He's 36. We're just trying to get him a ring, and I'm feeling good about this year's team. We win with 89 wins again. I believe that's the same amount of wins we had last season. And I'm feeling good going into the playoffs here. David Calabrese, center field. He got hurt for a bit, so we were forced to play Trout in center field for a bit towards the end. But Calabrese comes back, 85 WRC plus, 15 doubles, drives in 55 runs, doesn't strike out a ton. You know, we'll take this bat with this type of glove, absolutely. David Calabrese doing what he does, keep playing a great center field. We called up this Randy DeJesus guy straight from Double-A. He was raking in Double-A, already on the 40-man. So we were like, hey, let's get this guy up in September call-ups. And he put together a decent performance in a bunch of pinch hit appearances, essentially, as coming in as a substitution. You can see here, we'll sort this by major leagues. As a reliever substitution, 378 WRC plus, a double. What else do you want? He's walking a ton too, scoring. Randy DeJesus, love to see it. I don't know if he'll be on the postseason roster, but we'll take that. He's definitely an interesting piece here with the 65 power, the 50 gap, and the 55 eye. We also have Samuel Zavala was up. He was just awful. He was on the team just to have a guy who can be like okay-ish in center field, even though he's not okay-ish. But, you know, Samuel Zavala came up and he was not great. Nick Gonzalez came up because Seong Kim got hurt. That's not his name, is it? Ha-Sung Kim. Ha-Sung Kim got hurt. And Nick Gonzalez had to come back up and be our backup infielder. He was not great for us, as you can see. Negative WAR, 71 WRC plus. That's a mix of, I think that was beginning of the season and also now, or maybe it's just now. I'm not sure. But was not great. And then Joey Bart, just completely unplayable. Negative WRC plus. One of these days, we're going to have a serviceable backup catcher. This year, so far, it has not been it. And then if we take a look at our team stats here, as you see, the sweep of the Mariners, it feels so good, baby. We move on to the stats here. First place I guess we'll take a look at the standings first. Boom, plus 143 run differential. Love to see it. Tops in the AL West, best in the AL Central. The Orioles absolutely shattering the win record. 125 wins. Are you kidding me? I mean, what can you even say about this freaking team, man? I mean, insane. Insanity. We scored, let's say in the regular standings. No. Why does it not just tell me how many runs scored we have total on this page? I just want to look quickly and see how many runs scored we have compared to the Orioles. But I guess you can't do that from here. Seems kind of annoying. But anyways, we win the West. Twins win the Central. Orioles, Yankees both make the playoffs, obviously. Mets, Phillies, Braves in the NL East. And the Cubs, the Cubs in the Central. And then in the West, it is the Dodgers with the Giants missing out. We will now look at our team stats here. Once again, second most runs scored. We had 857 runs scored just out of curiosity. 958 runs scored, 592 runs allowed. What can you even say about that? I mean, insane. It's like something that commentators say a lot that annoys me is like you'll get a guy who hasn't played video games since he was like 12 being like these guys putting up video game numbers, and it's just like a guy like hitting 298 with like a 370 OBP, just a solidly good season, and they're like, this guy's putting up video game numbers. The Orioles are actually putting up video game numbers. But anyways, Angels here, you can see solid August, solid September, undefeated in October with those 3 games. Second best average, second best OBP, second best OPS, second best WAR, second best WOBA, second best runs, second best hits. Can you guess who was first? 6th most home runs, 3rd most walks, 3rd most stolen bases, 3rd best base running value. On the pitching side of things and the defense, 6th in total ERA, 7th in starters, 3rd in bullpen, 6th in runs allowed, 7th in WAR, 4th in hits, opponent's average, and BABIP, 5th in home runs. Our base on balls are no longer last. Somebody's worse than us. Strikeouts, getting a bunch, and then we still have the positive ZR rating in 6th in the American League as well. So the Angels, locked and ready to go here for the playoffs. As we can take a look at the batting leaders here. O'Hoppe leads an average with 326. The double 40 home runs from Shanuel and O'Hoppe. The double 100 ribby seasons. Double 400 OBPs. Kyron Paris in 3rd. Love to see that. Double 600 slugs. Double 1,000 OPSs. Insane WARs. Not quite a 200 hit season for Shanuel, but 189 is extremely respectable. 124 runs, 40 doubles is pretty crazy. What else are we looking for here? The stolen base leader was Rada with Paris. Both of them have 20 stolen bases for us. And the thing that's crazy about this team is that the guys who strike out the most are like our bench, or like our bottom of the order bats. Like Kyron Paris with 153 Ks was the strikeout leader, and Shanuel's 5th with 107, and then O'Hoppe's not even on the list. Just insane, like plate skills from our top hitters here. And then we also take a look at OPS plus 170, double 170s, double 290 and 284 ISO. I mean, insane stuff. Insane stuff. Take a look at the pitching. Tang leads an ERA with his fluky season. Bunch of guys with 13 wins. The saves leader was Cavalli, Bachman, and then Duran got 6 since coming over. The WARs, see that. Opponent's average, once again, Tang with this very fluky season. Most shutdowns was also Cavalli. Bunch of guys with a bunch of shutdowns for us this season. The bullpen was very good. Bunch of holds as well. Don't care about quality starts. And then where is the ZR? The ZR leader, David Calabrese, Rada, Paris, Serta, and Kim. Serta was just very disappointing. There's no other way to say it here. He was just not good. Negative WAR, 56 WRC plus, 6 home runs with this profile. 6 home runs, 11 doubles. Luckily, he didn't strike out a ton, but I mean, that's really a silver lining there when you look at the rest of this stuff. Just not good. Not good at all. Fine in right field, fine in left field. I was in a rehab assignment in Salt Lake, but not great. If we take a look around the league here, batting leaders, O'Hoppe, 3rd in batting average. Walker Jenkins of the Twins is in 1st. Home runs. Okay, so we had 2 guys in the National League who had more than Shanuel, but Shanuel led the American League, just barely beating out Kobe Mayo. He had 43. Shanuel gets 44. But Ellie De La Cruz, 47 home run season. This guy, it's just red all over this guy's stat page every single time we look at this thing. And then RBI, Shanuel, only beat it out by Mayo. O'Hoppe, second best, or actually the best on base percentage here, tied with Soto. I mean, when you're tied with Juan Soto, you're doing something right. Second and third best slug, second and third best OPS. Probably going to lose out on MVP, honestly, if you look at this. Probably going to lose on an MVP to Walker Jenkins because he got the batting title and he's got the OPS and he's got more home runs than OHP. Yeah, but still very, very, very good season. OHP 5th in WAR. I mean, an 8.8 WAR from Gunnar Henderson. You also got Jackson Churio, Ellie, Walker Jenkins, who's just an absolute monster for the Twins in his first full season. He's already fragile, though, so you don't love to see that for the Twins' outlook. Who else do we got here? We got, oh yeah, they have Lawrence Butler. They traded for him in 2024, and he just scored 131 runs, the most in the league. Crazy stuff. Hits leader, Shanuel's 4th. 2nd in runs. Nobody's up there in doubles, but Walker Jenkins, 52 doubles. Insane year. Jet Williams with 11 triples. Interesting stat there. 42 swipe bags. Justin, I thought that was J.P. Crawford for a second, and I was like, holy shit. It's not. It's Carl Crawford's son. Where did I leave off? Stolen bases. 4th most walks, counting numbers, Kyron Paris. 2nd most extra base hits is Shanuel. OPS plus 2 and 3. ISO number 5. WOBA 2 and 3. Win probability added number 1. Let's go. Let's go. We move things on to pitching leaders. ERA leader was Andrew Painter. None of our guys were on here. 20-win season for Zach Gallen. Most losses for Logan Webb. Don't love to see that. Got a bit unlucky. Pitcher war. Nobody on our team is on here. Who else do we have here? Reed Detmers had the shutout because he had the no-hitter. What is another number? ERA plus Andrew Painter. Cade Horton, the Oklahoma man. Number 2 on there. Also the best runs allowed per 9 WAR. Griffin Canning with the 2nd lowest BABIP. Love to see that. Getting lucky. We need all the luck we can get. That's how you win in the postseason. You got to get lucky, and we've got it. We've got some luck on our side in the bullpen and in the staff. Fielding percentage, I don't really care about that. That doesn't really mean anything. Carl Crawford's kids committing a bunch of errors, and the ZR leader Vance Honeycutt. Yep. Remember, this was the guy who went 1 pick before us in the draft that we took William Schmidt 1st overall, who has been nothing for us and just doesn't look great. The outlook for him doesn't look great, but Vance Honeycutt here, not doing anything with the bat. This was his first season in the big leagues, striking out a ton, but he is putting up absurd ZR numbers in center field. And then you got P. Armstrong on here, Dansby Swanson, Willie Adames, Jackson Churio on there. Some names you'd expect to see. Maybe Adames is a bit surprising, but he's pretty insane. P. Armstrong, we all know about him. PCA, he's incredible in center field. Go Cubs, go. Catcher's ERA, Adley Rushman. This new catcher for the Twins, Braxton Fulford. Interesting player. Oh, they just got him in the offseason. I believe I remember seeing him on Colorado when I was looking at their team. That does make sense. And, yeah, caught stealing percentage was Marchand. That's an insane stealing percentage. Insane. That doesn't really do anything else for them, but he threw out a bunch of runners. And then Ethan Salas turned himself into a pretty insane catcher here. Captain, solid bat for a catcher, putting up solid 3 WAR seasons for them, jumping straight from high A to the majors. I mean, that's insane. He's 21. He's already got 3 years in the bigs. That's just incredible. But we have the first round bye here in the playoffs, and we will jump into our matchup on the next episode.